What's going on, Forward fam? It's Forward Fabian. I'm back again with a video, man. We're doing the first time you realize America messed you up. Part 3, man, from the TikTok React series. And, we did part 4 initially. So the next upload from this series, you'll see, will continue on to part 5. Now, there's a few of these that I've seen, you know what I mean? It was like being out in Europe, living abroad, and why you would never come back, and things of that sort. So there's like 3 different variations of this series currently that I plan on continuing to run through. So like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit notification bell. Follow me on X and Instagram, Forward Fabian, and let's get into the video, man. Let's go.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So I'm an American and I live in Norway right now. And one time I was going to help my friend with this project that she had, and this girl was still in high school. And so she was like, yeah, just come to my high school. You can help me out, yada, yada, yada. I was like, great. What do I have to sign in when I get there? Do I need to wear a visitor's badge? Who do I talk to? What should I tell the front desk lady? She was like, what are you talking about? Just walk in and I'll meet you at my classroom. And my mind was blown. I was like, I can just walk into your school? Like, no, aren't they going to call the police? Aren't they going to send out an intruder alert? Like, I can't just walk into your high school and just walk straight.
I ain't gonna lie. There's some schools that's like that to this day. No police officers at the front doors. No security. No metal detectors. And you wonder why we have these school shootings, right? Kids just walk in. Oh, yeah, the metal detector didn't go off. You're good. But he got it concealed in his backpack somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it baffles me throughout all the school shootings we've had in the States to where they haven't reinforced any public school to the extremes. 9/11 happened. They cracked down, right? Do the same thing at every school. Unless you don't value the lives of the youth. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, 9/11. Oh, yeah, it's an attack on our country. Manipulate. When the youth gets compromised, that's a whole attack on the country. Every public school should have some type of extreme lockdown, extreme thorough security search. Just due to look at the playing field. All the school shootings we've had and there's still no reinforcement. Come on, man.
Straight to your classroom. No. Then I realized just how messed up it is that American high schoolers are like security prisons.
This is just from studying abroad in the UK. We were at a public train station and you had to pay to use the bathroom, and I had never seen that before. And I was like, oh my God, that's like messed up, right? They were like, yeah, but we don't pay for healthcare or college. Stop yelling.
So when I was a teenager,
you need to take a shit. $250, sir.
$250. And we were staying at this resort, and shit happened. I caught a virus that was going around the resort, and then I had an allergic reaction to the virus, and I couldn't really breathe. But the on-site paramedic had already left for the day, so the hotel concierge took us to the hospital in his van and just told us to call when we were ready to head back. So we go to the hospital, I get treated, and as we're leaving, my mom tries to give them her insurance card, and she's telling them, like, I'm so sorry, we've never been out of the country before, I don't know how to do this. They told her, like, oh no, you just keep that, we don't take insurance here. And the look on my mom's face was terrified, like, oh my God, we're gonna have to sell our house, terrified. This was when they realized we were Americans, and they were like, oh no, don't panic, you must be American, we have universal health care here, you just need to pick up your medicine in the lobby, you're fine. The medicine was $8, and they gave me a note to give to the airline to get back into my own country.
Okay, I love this question. I actually don't live abroad right now, but I spent basically most of my 20s living abroad.
She couldn't stand it. She said, I gotta go back.
6 of those years I was living in the UK, and in my first, like, professional job, you could say there, this one time I got really sick, and I was feeling really unwell, and I was like, I had 5 weeks of leave, and I really had assumed that must have been like my sick and my vacation time, like in one, because 5 weeks is like so much time relative to American standards. And I was really sick.
Damn!
I was like, and then I was like, but honestly, I don't want to use up my sick time. And my boss was like, what are you talking about? Like, if you're sick, like, you're just sick. And I was like, but I only have, like, I don't want to use my time. And she was like, no, like, you're just sick. And I was like,
In America, man, you sick. You got that COVID, don't you? Oh, you got an extreme illness? You got that extreme illness? You got Ebola? You got 5 more days of sick time. If you don't return to the office, we're firing you. Literally, bro, that's the epitome of it. I see what she's saying. A whole, well, you don't have any more sick time? Sorry. We're going to have to deduct your pay. And the hell, bro? You can literally be on your deathbed. Well, sorry. Your sick time ran out. Dickhead.
Wait, holy shit, really?
I went to uni in the UK and I still live there, so I've got a ton of these. Probably the first that comes to mind is when, first year, I realized I was picking my seats in lectures about where I could be protected in case someone came in and started shooting.
What's she saying?
And I brought it up with my group of friends, which had Americans, non-Americans, and all my American friends were like, oh yeah, I'm also terrified of someone coming in and taking us out in a mass shooting. And of course, all of the non-Americans were like, what the f-? Like, never been worried about that. And yeah, they shouldn't be.
Did y'all know that in other countries, they can go to the pharmacy and actually get what they need? I live in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia right now, and I went to the pharmacist and I was like, hi, I think I kind of have like a UTI. Like, do you have any pain medicine, any cranberry? And she's like, why don't I just give you antibiotic? And I was like, then I go back and I'm like, hi, I'm going to South Africa next week, like on safari, like any good, mosquito repellent? And she's like, girl, you want anti-malarials? And then
See, that's different. Antibiotics, don't they normally sell those at your pharmacy, bro? Come on. Anti-malarials. Now, I don't know what that is. Oh, damn.
With it, right? I go in there, on another occasion and I'm like, I'm back, I'm waiting for my birth control, like, to come from the U.S. Like, it's taking a while, prescriptions and doctors and all that. And she literally threw.
She getting clapped.
The birth control at me.
You getting clapped in Ethiopia? Who need birth control in Ethiopia? I thought they a very traditional, conservative type of place, type of country.
So I have a really embarrassing
She
one.
getting clapped.
It was my first time getting pulled over by a German police officer. When the cop walked to my vehicle, I was like, why'd you pull me over? Geez, I can't get a break anywhere I go. Is it because I'm black? Then the police officer looked at me very calmly and was like, bro, in Germany, we do random traffic stops. Not only that, he also educated me on everything you need in a vehicle for a random traffic stop. After that, he didn't even do the random traffic stop. He just walked away and said, have a nice day. Very respectful. After he left, I just sat there dumbfounded and I was like, wow, in America, I'm so used to getting pulled over for...
Yeah, you should be dumbfounded, bro, because he used to holding the sympathy card. The feel sorry for me. Bro, police officer pulled me over. Sure, he may be racist, but the first thing I say first thing I don't say is, officer, is it because I'm black? The hell, bro? Some of these... racism is real. That's a fact. But I'm not a victim. I think I said this in a prior video, man. Quit being all soft and, I always get because I'm black. Bruh. Even if I got pulled over every single day and an officer called me all type of racist, vulgar type of names, so to where I clearly know this is based off of my skin color, I'm still never going to say it's because I'm black. Because I don't care. Like, I've accepted what reality is. I'm not going to sit here being a little bitch. Oh, I'm black. Like, quit being, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. That's like somebody who's handicapped everywhere they go. It's like, it's because I'm handicapped. I can't do this because I'm handicapped. Oh, I'm in a wheelchair. Oh, I'm on crutches. Oh, like, bruh. At a point in time, you got to let your balls drop. You got to let your nuts hang. Accept the reality of the world and just keep it pushing. If the only thing it does is fuel my fire, it only make me want to level up. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can't stop your grind. They can't stop what's in your heart, your hustle. And people will never really get to know your true character. So when somebody judges you off face value, oh, well, you're black, and you don't really know nothing about me, you can't control that. What you can control is your response, how you carry yourself, what you choose to do with your life. Quit being a victim all the time. I'm black. Oh, you're a
being
bitch.
Black for no reason, and it really changed my whole attitude.
This fool clown.
Great. Now you're nearly 25, so you should probably come back in soon to get a cervical screening test. Oh, sure. And here's some info about IUDs since you were asking about those.
Well, damn.
Okay, and what's like a ballpark for how much all of this costs? Like 500, £1,000? It's free. Oh.
Well, besides wanting to get under a desk every time I hear like a bang noise, I had no idea what that was.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie. This argument, I've seen it countless times. So when I hear a loud sound, it's a gunshot. That's why I try to always revert back to the fact that some of these arguments are from an extremist perspective. Or maybe you experienced the school shootout. Maybe you experienced the shootout in real time. Maybe you're just traumatized. You got your own PTSD. This is not the reality of the normal day-to-day. If you look at statistics and how frequently shootouts occur in the projects, probably a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Chicago or in any of these cities that have very high crime rate. But in the generalization of things, people ain't getting shot up every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we live in a very violent, influenced country. But come on, man. Well, I jumped under a desk because I heard a loud bang. Well, you're just soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like this argument doesn't really hold that much substance to me. Now, the school shooting argument is different. But just when you hear a loud sound, I got to get under a table. It's not that bad. And by the looks of it, you probably was growing up very posh. You know what I'm saying? Like they say in England, you are well off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to try to put you in a box or assume, but come on, man. All the folks that argue about hearing a loud bang and they hop under the table are folks that grew up in the suburbs or in a high, wealthy, high-class neighborhood. Wasn't no shootouts that often in the suburbs, bro. So you got no reason to be being that afraid. It's kind of like, what's that phrase for that? Damn, it'll come back to me. But come on, man. At this point, y'all just doing the most.
Move to Australia.
Oh, yeah. I'm an American living in Canada here since 2007. When I went to school, my schools had security guards. They don't have that in my son's school.
Thank you.
My son does not have a security guard.
Thank you.
They used to break up fights.
Come on.
We used to have police called, and I mean, God,
we
they
need
don't
that.
have that here. And
we
it's
need
just,
that.
It's very reassuring that the difference of violence in schools.
They don't have that in the States. She's over there. We don't have that here in Canada, so I'm just so reassured because it just symbolizes the fact that there's not extreme violence, bro. They don't have that in the States like that. You can say the school you went to had security guards. You know how many schools don't have security? I think there's this general security, but back to my first point, there's not reinforced precautions. You know what I mean? Like I said, metal detectors, pat downs. Hey, whatever it takes to save a kid's life. You know what I mean?
Here is uncomparable to the United States. And I wish it was better. I wish it was different for everyone back home.
So I spent about 4 years in Berlin, Germany, working in advertising. And
we can
coming
tell,
to New
bro.
York, where my first 8 years in the industry, I just, you don't take vacation. You just don't really do that. Well, I had to have a sit down with the CEO of my company and the head of HR where they took my laptop and took my work phone and told me I could not come back to the office for 3 weeks because I had to use my vacation time. They were afraid that I was going to sue the company for not being allowed to take my vacation time. So they made sure that I literally could not work. Imagine that happening in the US. Someone literally taking your computer and your work phone away and say, go, come back in 3 weeks, enjoy your vacation. Honestly, Europe has a lot going for it that I wish.
Yeah, because in America, we're bots. You're replaceable. You know what I'm saying? Don't take your job that serious. Of course, do good work. Put your best foot forward. But you get sick. You need a self-care, self-tend. Do it. Mental health is real, bro. A lot of these folks, if you can't do it, Timmy can. I'll hire Timmy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you got to be 1,000 with yourself. Don't be a workaholic to work yourself into an early grave. What's the point of storing up riches when you can't take them into death? You know what I'm saying? There's no point. People literally work their ass off for nothing. Of course, they work for their families, but it doesn't matter if you can't even sustain your health. Well, I left my, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you leave your family wealth and a legacy and you just died in the process, cool. I mean, if that's your dream and that's what you wanted, great. But I think most men want to be able to be around for their families and enjoy life with them. Versus I work myself in an early grave so that, you know, my grandson could be able to be sent off to college. Like, what? Come on, bruh.
Americans would understand.
So I've been living in Italy for about 11 years now, 12 years. And I moved here to be with my husband. And in the U.S., I got my tubes tied after my third child and decided I didn't want any more, but he didn't have any, so we decided to do IVF, and I got pregnant with twins. At 13 weeks, I lost one, and once I lost that child, they considered me a high-risk pregnancy and took me off work from that moment on until 3 months after she was born, and I was paid 100% of my check. 100% of my check.
This story reminds me of a girl I used to work with, right? She was pregnant. They had her working up until she dropped the baby. No lie. They finessed her on her maternity leave, bruh. They finessed her. It was like 2 weeks maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, typically, if there's an average frame or a time frame for maternity, paternity, obviously paternity leave for males is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe a month, 3 to 4 weeks, I don't know. I thought for females it's 6 weeks, up to 6 weeks. They gave her like 2 weeks maybe. Don't that sound ridiculous, bruh? Thank you, America. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I hate to do that, but like, you can't sit here and, let me phrase it like this. You got to accept the good with the bad. There's no place that's perfect. So I'm not going to sit here and throw all negatives out about our country when there's a lot of positives. The same about anywhere you go in the world, bro. You ain't can't act like other countries are perfect because they're not. Honestly, with all the rambunctiousness, I'd probably rather still live in America 75% of the time. You know what I'm saying? So it just... That's the thing. You can't sit here and have your head up your ass and assume there's everything gold about America. America is it's the greatest place ever, bruh. Like, there's still negatives to it. You're just blind as a bat because you're biased. But I think the positives slightly, that's the thing. The positives that matter to an extent of people slightly outweigh the negatives. But if you really want to dig for the negatives, and things that may be particular to societal aspects, community aspects, the economy, government, a lot of people could find a lot of negatives to outweigh the good. That's my point. It's all perception. But of course you're going to have that one for America. Yeah. Man, shut your ass up,
and
man.
Then until she was
Dickhead.
1, I got to come home 2 hours a day to breastfeed her. 100% paid.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, kids, this one's for me. This one is for me. I'm literally about to go to sleep right now, but I saw this and I have to respond right now. So much so that this might become a series. So, part 1. I lived in Galway, Ireland for a year, all of 2020. Yes, all
Hey, mate!
of 2020. I come from the backwoods of Wisconsin, where shooting squirrels off of your trees is a fun afternoon activity. Fireworks rarely happen in Ireland. It was Halloween night. I heard pops.
Here we
in
go.
the
You
sky.
jumped under the
My
table.
first
I was
reaction
scared.
Who's shooting?
Stupid ass boy.
Obviously, no one was shooting a gun. My neighbors.
PTO, and then they had sick leave. And I got to the section about ago, and I was going through the company policy. So I started my new job in the Netherlands. This was 3 years ago, and I was going through the company policy the first week. And I got to the section about leave, and they have a holiday leave, like PTO, and then they had sick leave in 2 different areas.
Yes, bro. Paid
leave,
time
My
off.
coworker, and I was like,
yes.
I don't understand. Like, it talks about like the requirements for sick leave and like doctor notes like after 3 days, but how many sick days do we get a year? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, how many are there? It doesn't say. She's like, it's just if you're sick, you're out. I'm like, I don't understand. She's like, it's unlimited. It's just if you're sick, you take a sick day. She was confused. I was shocked. There's a moment I realized in America and how we deal with people being sick with work.
So you're sick, sir. We don't expect you to return. Sir, you're sick. Bro, these are so funny, man. But like I said, it's perception. Everybody's going to have their own individualized experience. So it's apples and oranges 9 times out of 10. Like, let's keep it a bean. It's not always just, America sucks. Or, yeah, other countries are better. Or, America's great. Other countries suck. Hey, come on, man. Like, get your head. Like, let's think outside the box a little bit. So many people's minds are just so tunneled and biased to where it doesn't even matter. You couldn't even have this conversation with them to where they could see negatives that are obvious within our country. If you're thinking that it's all rainbows and, dandelions, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it 1,000. If anything, I'm a realist. I don't just sit here and kiss ass because I'm American. Although I love America. You know what I mean? It's where I was born and raised. It's what I represent. It made me who I am. So who am I to sit here and say, I hate them? I'm not going to say none of that. I do love America. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I've had the opportunity and been blessed to see other sides of the coin. I've been outside of the country. There's some people who have never been outside of the country a day in their life. Outside of their state, a day in their life. Outside of their city, a day in their life. Outside of their little town, a day in their life. So, of course, what mindset will they have? The small-minded mindset. This is all I need. And, God made those people just to be that. You know what I mean? Then he made other people to think beyond that. So, everybody's different. That's all it is. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? Peace, love, prosperity. We'll see y'all in the next video, man. We out.